You have to do the rain dance. Oh my god, it's coming down more now.
Yeah, I love it. Hello, people of the internet. For those of you who don't know, I've been seeing a psychologist for a while. And well, I kind of wrote a blog about it. I'll get to what it's about in a future episode. But first, I wanted to share something pretty cool with you. You see, I shared my blog with my psychologist, and well, she realized I wanted to help people that were in a similar situation as I'm in. So she told me that she was presenting in the Family Medicine Forum in Vancouver. Essentially, this was an opportunity for me to tell my story in front of about 200 family medicine doctors. So if you've never read my blog, this is kind of what it was about. Hope you enjoy. Hello, my name is Joel and I'm one of Dr. Cooper's patients. I agreed to participate in sharing my story because after being under her care, I think I finally understand what has been going on with me and my health over, well, the vast majority of my life. Not only that, but the work I've done with Dr. Cooper has inspired me to become an advocate for people that may be sharing my struggle. And guess what? That's just not a few people. As the abstract of the session has described, up to 50% of primary care patients end up presenting medically unexplained symptoms. And so I've been told that this is my chance to speak to a room full of doctors, and in doing so, I hope to share my journey. Whoa, I totally forgot how sarcastic I am in this video. But let's start with a hypothetical first. If I walked into your office tomorrow and told you that I had heartburn, what would you do? You could run a blood test, but let me promise you, the results would come back would make a racehorse envious. Or how about a barium swallow? Because you know, those are really fun. I'm guessing after those two tests, finding out that everything is normal with me, that you'd probably say, let's try prescribing you some Nexium. And you know, Nexium is a pretty great drug. If you want to convince your stomach to create less acid so that none is coming up your throat, it really works.
That's when you knew Nexium was the prescription medication for you. Because for over a decade, Nexium has provided many just like you with 24-hour relief from heartburn and helped heal acid-related erosions in the lining of the esophagus. And now the prescription Nexium you know can be delivered directly to your door with Nexium Direct. Talk to your doctor to see if Nexium is right for you. There is risk of bone fracture and low magnesium levels. Side effects may include headache, abdominal pain, and diarrhea. If you have persistent diarrhea, contact your doctor right away. Other serious stomach conditions may exist.
Now, I'm not a digestion expert, but I'm pretty sure my stomach needs that acid to properly digest my food. Now, how about if I came in complaining about fatigue? We could run a blood test again, and actually this time we would find out that I was anemic. Simple fix, right? Just prescribe me some Ferromax and iron is back in my system. But are we missing the point here? I'm a 29-year-old male. Why am I anemic in the first place? And why do you refer me to a naturopath that have access to iron supplements that people absorb better? Why wasn't that prescribed to me in the first place? Ladies and gentlemen, do you see what I'm getting at here? Now, I'm not a doctor, but even I can put two and two together. And I'm pretty sure the reason why I didn't absorb that iron is because the acid that it requires me to absorb proper nutrients was missing in the first place because of the Nexium you prescribed me. Then again, I'm not there in the room today, and I'm sure that all of you would have been much wiser than that, right? So anyway, let's see if I can remember all the symptoms I actually came to the doctor for. I had heartburn, indigestion, constipation, gas, fatigue, short-term memory loss, almost forgot that one, brain fog, eczema, chronic pain, TMJ, persistent throat infections, the list goes on. And speaking of memory loss, I'm going to now try to remember all the specialists I was sent to. I'm pretty sure I saw, just for my chronic pain, 4 physiotherapists, God knows how much massage therapists, 3 chiropractors, a neurologist to make sure I didn't have MS, an osteopath, and a physiatrist, I'll give you guys all 5 seconds to Google what the hell that is. So that was a part of my chronic pain journey. I also saw other specialists for my other symptoms, including an ear, nose, and throat specialist, an allergist, an ADHD specialist that led me to a prescription of Ritalin, which was good for one thing, which was giving me a headache for a week. I saw 2 naturopaths, paid $400 to get my feces tested. I mean, the list goes on. Oh, and for any of you guys who have not experienced it, just want to let you guys know, the barium enema is a lot less fun than the barium swallow. Yeah. So after all that, to make a long story short, I fired my GP, was referred to the new GP, which led me to the clinic that Dr. Cooper works at. And after 2 sessions there, they decided that, well, you've told us your history, we don't really know what's going on with you, but we have this specialist on staff who specializes in working with people who have symptoms such as you're describing, Joel. Would you like to go see him? And of course, I said yes. Now, I know what you all may be thinking. Joel, if you're so stressed out, why didn't you just go see a psychologist in the first place? Well, it may have something to do with the fact that I've been on antidepressants since the age of 19. And so I didn't really realize that I was stressed out. I was a stock analyst, which is supposed to be my dream job. And you might say, oh my God, you're a stock analyst, that sounds so stressful. But for me, I didn't feel stressed. I didn't have a boss that was yelling at me every day. I didn't work extremely long hours. And I was just blah all the time, I guess. But I really didn't feel stressed out. So now let me just briefly tell you about my experience with Dr. Cooper and how that's helped me. After leaving my first appointment with Dr. Cooper, which even I wasn't feeling optimistic about, it became abundantly clear to me that there were things in my life that I needed to deal with. Now, how did I come to that conclusion? Well, the thing is that within that first hour and a half session, Dr. Cooper kept asking me the question, how does that make you feel? And what I quickly realized was I didn't really know. And so I would answer the question with how I thought a character in a TV show would react. Because I couldn't feel it within myself, I kind of tried to intellectualize it. And when I did that, Dr. Cooper asked me the second most important question, which was, how do you know you feel that way? Or where do you feel that in your body? And I had no idea. So within my life, I never showed anger. I never showed sadness. And I also never really experienced happiness or joy. I was just numb all the time. And so for the next 5 sessions, I like to describe it as Dr. Cooper trying extremely hard to break me. And so that was a really bizarre experience for me, because it was the first time in my life where all I wanted to do was cry, but I couldn't. There was something in me that was holding on to that. And I can only assume that all that energy for all those years of holding in those emotions must have wreaked absolute havoc on my body, my organs, my entire physiology. And so during that 5th session, I finally cried. And that's when the real work started. And now I actually love to cry because it's such a real experience. Hiding it and being anxious is so fake. And so in terms of my journey, I'm making a lot of changes in my life now. I've learned to become a lot more vulnerable, and what that has done for my relationships have been amazing. I've also learned that my job was not making me happy, and that I have a deep desire to build something. And so that's kind of the future I'm looking forward to. And so that's enough about me. But I think the moral of the story here is, can we stop looking at patients as symptoms and start asking why I have the symptoms in the first place? I don't really think it requires a study to figure out that it would have been far more cost effective within the entire system if I would have just saw someone like Dr. Cooper in the first place 10 years ago. So I guess that's my time, but I hear that Dr. Cooper's in the room. So I really hope that you listen to her with an open mind, an open heart, and you can leave today seriously considering what she has presented to you and what we can do in the future to help our entire population live more healthy and fulfilling lives. Thank you. What would you do? Probably run if you did, all you'd find out is that I have the horse envious. Would make a racehorse envious. Or how about now? How about if I came in complaining about how about if I came in complaining about fatigue? Well, that may have something to do with I left. It's interesting. Today I actually really love to cry, and